Holy actually living to DIY my channel name lately. I am going to walk you through my small closet makeover because you guys are DIYing my life as I need it. Like I cannot live out of suitcases anymore. So I partnered up with my friends over at Squarespace again to bring to you the next phase of my post-breakup getting my life together. I think it's pretty hilarious that I just did that other closet makeover and I kept telling you like, oh, I don't have that many clothes. Well, now you're going to see how I'm going to make a small closet work for me with the closet makeover 2.0. So let's try this again. My goal with this closet is to use the space in a new way that I haven't really seen before and pulled my inspiration from the Airbnb that I stayed at in Joshua Tree. That's going to be the whole inspiration for my entire room. So it's nice to be able to start here and small. We're going to be taking off these doors because I personally don't need them and I can figure out a more aesthetically pleasing way to close off the closet if need be. So when you lay down carpet, if you go to refer to my old closet makeover, when I lifted up this foam, it was super easy to just roll off the floor because there was no adhesive whatsoever. On contrary, here, my friends, they adhesived everywhere and it just makes for really messy cleanup. And the fact that I want to paint this floor in the meantime before we get hardwood floor, it's just going to make my life a little bit more difficult to scrape and sand, a little bit more elbow grease, if you will. Now, maybe you know this, maybe you do not, but sometimes when there is a track and you can't see it or you don't know how to get to it, you just have to pop the trim out on the outside and then you have access to remove that track that those doors were on previously, and that will open up the closet just a couple more inches, but trust me, it actually makes a difference. I don't know what my camera was doing with the color correction, so I apologize, but right here, I kind of had a little bit of a breakdown because it's just the fact that there are so many projects I have to do to just get my life back to normal. So that was just a little snippet of that. I patched up my holes and let those dry overnight. I will explain why I'm doing this a little bit later. The next day I just moved on to painting the entire thing a very basic and pure white because I wanted to go the complete opposite of my other closet that I had before. If you wanted to add some pizzazz or personality, go ahead and paint it whatever color you want, or you could even do a peel and stick on the back wall or the entire thing and really make it your accent if you did want to leave it open like I am thinking of doing. It is complete personal preference. Back to the floor. If you've seen Holly's Extreme Bedroom Makeover, you will hear me say a million times that we're waiting to do the flooring last in our house and just tackling rooms as we go. So I'm going to be patching up and sanding down just the concrete temporarily since we're planning on doing the flooring once all the rooms are complete because we have to rip up the flooring in each room. One thing I did decide to try was fill these cracks with the concrete epoxy that you can get at your big box store, but that did not work, or maybe I just didn't have the patience to do it 5 million times to fill the crack. I'm not quite sure. We'll experiment with it more in the room makeover. I cut down a closet rod that I picked up from Home Depot. This is different than the wooden dowel that you cut down to size there. This holds the weight of the clothes. It's in their closet section, just to let you know. Then there's this like shiplap walling I found, but I'm going to trim off the groove sides because I just wanted some lightweight wood, but I didn't want to use pine to frame out the inside of the closet door jamb, if you will, just to make a wood accent piece. To make the shelf look like a wooden shelf, I just glued some of the super thin interior birch plywood to the bottom of the shelf, and then I added a lip to it, again, just to give it the illusion that this is wood versus painted white MDF. Cut down the frame on the exterior to 45 at each corner where it meets and framed that out, again, just to continue the wood accents to the outside as well as the inside. And I just think the vision I have for my room, this might help tie in something very bold that I'm thinking about doing. So, yeah. The next move is to finish out the shelving above that shelf, which I'm cutting down these 1 1/4 inch round dowels to 8 inches. I'm cutting down 15 of them for my personal project. There's going to be 5 legs for each shelf. The shelving length itself is going to be the width of my closet, which is 58 inches wide. For the leg placement, again, totally up to you, but I am marking 2 inches in from each side, making an X where I'm going to pre-drill a hole, flip that bad boy around, and then use a countersink to make sure that the screw that is going from the top, like where the shoes will be resting, is nice and flush. I sanded down the legs to make sure there was no little fray splintery type of situations. Then 1-800 super pro'd my way into this one and completely blocked the drill, drilling the screw from the bottom up, but that it was secure enough to hold some shoes. This doesn't need to be crazy because it's not holding a ton of weight, and we're going to be adding a middle support after we install it. How I envisioned this was 3 rows of sneakers, and the very top of that top shelf be like my sandals or heels turned sideways that take up very minimal space.
How damn cute is that? Watch this. Kidding me? Oh my god, I'm obsessed.
For flexibility, I decided to not screw in the middle support because it was already tight squeezed when you just shoved it in. That was an awkward sentence. But if I needed to move this storage around, I could take that middle support out or add more supports to other areas if I needed to shift what was going to be there. Yes, I added pipe and flange. This is a tried and true for me. I will show you why in a little bit. But now that everything is done having to do with the walls, I decided to move forward and paint the floor the same paint that I used on my shed. I gave the paint a full day to dry and then loaded up my closet the next day. The left-hand side is going to be more professional or business going out items. I added an IKEA dresser to the middle. I'll link that down below for you. And then on the right-hand side, those pipe and flange are actually going to be pant storage because I realized when you hang up your clothes in a closet, they don't touch the back wall. So I wanted to utilize that space because I don't have a lot of storage and dresser space in this room since it's on the smaller side of things. Shout out to my people who finger space their closet because they've worked retail and it's just like engraved in your brain. Anyways, I put the laundry basket on the right hand side on the bottom, but I didn't like how it was going open right up into my clean clothes. I wanted to reassess that later. I added some hooks to the left hand side on the back of like that support for the shelf to hang my purses, belts, and necklaces versus like buying something to hang them and just take up more space in the room. I took note where my clothes fell or where I could compromise and kind of fold them up onto themselves and installed some drywall anchors and custom shelving that I just cut down to size for my closet. I'll leave everything down below for you to make little shelving moments for extra storage. I put the dresser back to being flush and now I have a moment for a basket, the clothes to still be hung up on top, and then I have space down below for a little something. But I wanted to bring you today's sponsor, Squarespace, who is literally getting my life together and inspiring me to share the behind the scenes of a lot of this with you guys. From an online shop to a blog, Squarespace has you covered. From pre-designed templates for you to choose from, searching domains, super easy to see what's available for you. It's really a one-stop shop to get your website up and running. I have actually been working on my website during my downtime, and I have to say from my personal experience, Squarespace is so user-friendly. It doesn't overwhelm me and doesn't make me feel like I'm gonna quit in the middle of designing my own website. If you need to be pointed in the right direction or need some help, there are webinars available that you can sign up for. And if you guys are going to get ready to launch, be sure to head to squarespace.com/Metz to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. I love the layout so far, but there is some missed opportunity for storage and spacing. I loaded up my sweat outfits in that little cubby in the left-hand side that was created, adding that shelf. And on the right-hand side, instead of using drywall anchors and screws, the gap between the wall and the support of the closet in the other room on the other side of the wall was way too close. So I couldn't really use screws or anchors to support it. I opted for construction adhesive in my nail gun with the appropriate length nails. I repeated the same square dowel bracket DIY situation directly onto the IKEA dresser itself, again with the appropriate length brad nails. And these shelves look very close together, but I am just putting my workshop clothes here for easy access and to pull, and I don't want them to be mixed in with all of the other stuff. I bet you're wondering, like, where are your jackets, the heavier coats? Well, your girl learned when I had to downsize, vacuum sealed bags are your best friend. I'll be showing you how I'm utilizing vacuum storage bags in my bedroom makeover. But if you don't see like the fluffy coats and stuff, that's where they are. You just gotta think smart when you're in a smaller space and be able to swap it out when the seasons change. That's at least what I'm learning. All my earrings are on this tabletop mirror right here. Added some final details and voila. I can't even tell you how excited I am to not live out of boxes in a month, and I am just so excited to finally get the show on the road with some other makeovers. Now that my shed is done and now that my closet is done, I can move to my office and then my bedroom, which I will take you along for the ride and explain why I'm making over everything the way that I am, because this is all a part of the journey, all a part of the ride. Small closets are super strange, and no, I did not two-tone color my walls right here. I'm gonna be doing my vanity/office combo next week for you guys, but what I do need to say about the small closet situation, I designed this for me and my life and how I work, and I'm in love. It's a basis of inspiration, it's not my way or the highway, so let me know in the comments down below, because I always tell you, sharing is caring. What would you do differently? What would you add? What would you switch up? Because you know when you guys give me feedback, I actually end up implementing it, because you guys are basically all the time right. Also, a friendly reminder to keep your foot on the gas. Links to new petitions, new places that I am personally donating via my family and friends recommendations are down below for you. Also, leave comments of different petitions and organizations you want me to be donating to at the end of the month. We are coming up on that. Thank you again to Squarespace. I'm very nervous to launch my website, but I will keep you guys in the loop for that. And until then, I will see you soon for another DIY.